Have you ever heard of the 100th monkey effect? It's a mirror held up to human consciousness, showing how change spreads, silently, invisibly, until one final spark ignites the collective, and everything shifts. It started in the 1950s. On a remote Japanese island, researchers noticed something odd. A few monkeys began washing sweet potatoes in the ocean before eating them. Then more monkeys copied the behavior. Eventually, dozens were doing it, but then came the strange part. Once a certain number of monkeys, some say the 100th, learned this new behavior, monkeys on entirely different islands with no physical contact suddenly started doing the same thing. No communication, no contact, just a mysterious jump in behavior across space, as if the knowledge had entered the air itself. That's the 100th monkey effect, a tipping point in consciousness. When enough individuals embody a new way of being, that energy becomes available to the collective. Now imagine what this means for you, because here's the truth: you are not isolated. Your thoughts are not confined to your skull. Your choices do not end at your skin. You are part of something much bigger, a living, breathing field of energy and consciousness that is constantly shaping the world around you. This isn't spiritual fluff. This is quantum science. In quantum field theory, every particle is connected. Consciousness doesn't exist in the brain. It exists through the brain, the same way a radio receives signal. When enough individuals tune in to a new frequency of thought, behavior, or awareness, that frequency becomes accessible to others. This is why movements explode seemingly overnight, why cultural norms can shift within a generation, why great awakenings, spiritual, political, social, don't happen gradually. They happen suddenly. After years of invisible buildup, after enough people shift, the field shifts, and this is where your responsibility begins. Because the moment you realize your consciousness isn't just yours, you also realize your excuses aren't just yours either. Every lie you hold on to, every belief you refuse to question, every cycle you refuse to break, you're feeding the field, you're reinforcing the program. But when you step out of the program, when you choose presence over reaction, truth over comfort, integrity over popularity, you change the frequency. You become a new signal. You become what Gandhi was pointing to when he said, "We must be the change we wish to see in the world." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say demand the change. He didn't say complain about the world. He didn't say wait for someone else to fix it. He said be it. Why? Because nothing you demand from the world will stick unless it's flowing through you first. You want truth to rise? Live truthfully. You want unity? Stop projecting division into every disagreement. You want spiritual awakening? Then cleanse your own temple before shouting down someone else's idols. Everything begins with you. Because you are the signal, you are the one, the two, the 99, maybe even the 100th. That's the uncomfortable part. You never know which one you are. You never know if your next decision, your next act of courage, your next refusal to stay silent might be the final spark that tips the scale. So the only question is, will you live like it? Most people won't. Because most people are addicted to comfort, addicted to fitting in, addicted to letting the world tell them who to be. And that addiction has a cost. Because when you choose to live unconscious, you choose to broadcast unconsciousness. When you refuse to question your beliefs, you reinforce the matrix. When you tolerate your own lies, you validate collective deception, and on it goes. But the moment you wake up, really wake up, you stop contributing to the problem. You start becoming the solution. Let's be clear, this isn't about being perfect, it's about being aligned. You don't need to change the entire world. You just need to stop being part of what's destroying it. You just need to clean your signal, live your truth, hold your frequency. You'll be attacked, you'll be misunderstood, but that's how you know it's working. Because the old system doesn't punish you for being wrong, it punishes you for stepping out of line. That's the real test. Can you stay grounded when the world mocks your clarity? Can you stay soft in spirit but firm in truth? Can you carry the burden of awakening when most people still want to sleep? If so, then you are already becoming the change. You're already feeding the field. You're already doing what so few are willing to do. living deliberately in a world of mental autopilot. And if enough of us do that, the shift won't just be personal, it will be collective, sudden, permanent, because the truth doesn't need a majority, it just needs a threshold. Now let's take it even deeper. Because this isn't just quantum, it's spiritual. The Bible said it long before any scientist observed it. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformed not externally, but internally. That's the real revolution, the unseen one. The one that begins in secret, in silence, in the space between your old thought and your new decision. And look again at Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. The world doesn't need louder opinions. It needs clearer light, unshakable light, light that isn't dependent on culture, trends, algorithms, or applause, light that burns because it knows who it is. You are that light, but only when you stop dimming yourself to blend in. You cannot hold your truth and the world's lies at the same time. One must go. So let it be this. Let the illusion die. Let the fear die. Let the excuses die. Because the moment you do, you give someone else permission to do the same. That's how the signal spreads. That's how the field shifts. That's how we reach the 100th monkey. And that's when the world begins to change, not from the top down, but from the inside out. Be the signal. Be the threshold. Be the change. Because you never know, you just might be the one that tips it all. If this hits you deep, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who's ready to wake up. Let's shift the field together.